Got it. Got it. All righty, let's get it. All right, y'all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco at northwest of Maxim. How are you? Guys, I'd like to welcome you to our Koran Devotional, right? Our Holy Koran Devotional. All righty. We are this is AstroCivics Sunday number 30. And we've gone from chapter 48, you're on a countdown, right? This is our devotional countdown, the Holy Quran devotional countdown. We did 48, 47, 46, 45, and this is now the fifth Sunday, and we're at chapter 44 now, guys. All righty, that is entitled Misery, right? This is those are some fun chapters, 40 to 44. So I'm going to enjoy this these next 5 Sundays, this Sunday and the next 4 Sundays after that. However, guys, before we get started, I'd like to introduce my magnificent and beloved brother in whom I'm well pleased, and he is
Islam, peace and love, y'all. You already know, man. You know what I'm saying? Brother Sean email, man. You know already all is well, man. And bro, man. Bro. Hey, bro, man. Would you call me another appellation, man? What's that other appellation, man?
Islam, man. You've read chapter 44 before, right, Brother Sean?
Yes. Okay. I was, read it before, and then I was glancing over it today and last night, just looking at a couple of different points, and I was like, whoo. Beautiful. All of them are beautiful chapters, every single one. And you know how my mind, and like, if I look at anything, it's just like, it's kind of like, reading the prophet's literature and, just studying how we study and, like really just looking to absorb and grasp information. Like you can look up 2 words and you end up going to look up some verse somewhere else. And it's like, boom, it's like an automatic, rabbit hole, as they would say. Is like really just looking at different type things and beautiful. And yeah, like it really, especially like you were saying, makes you really, look at yourself. Just question yourself, and it's, it doesn't have to be bad, but it's just like a real honest look in the mirror at yourself. You're like, you definitely gonna feel it, and it'd be some parts, and if you like grew past some certain parts, but even then, sometimes we all still deal with various things. So I was like, but definitely, I'm like in that mindset to grasp it and understand it and fill it out and keep it moving. But if you really ain't, dealing with those principles or those things, like that shit gonna feel like a stab in your kidney, like a punch in your ribs or something. You're gonna be like, you're gonna be like, man, what was that fabulous song? Then you got so yeah, man, it was like really good chapters. Like one of my favorites, like chapter 12, and it's like I just like to do the different voices and, see myself as the different beings. But like chapter 44, Misery, and those followings, it's a real, perspective changer, like a real look at yourself in the mirror, look at your, look within type of thing.
Yeah, man, because I realized too, Ben realized it. However, maybe I'll have the pleasure of speaking to some Moors that just followed us on Instagram, and scrolling their pages to see what they're about. And you already know when it comes to, I know because we're about to read in one of our letters to be read in every meeting once we get into our invocation in, that the temple is perfect because the prophet is perfect. All righty, so a lot of times what we're going to have to do is separate the maladministration that's happening in certain venues that call themselves operating as temples. However, I'm very familiar with the 805 ILCS 110. And I already know when people express certain conduct and behaviors, they've actually removed themselves from office, despite the fact that they may think in their head that they're still holding that office. And what I'm actually realizing is this would be such a perfect chapter to really read when it comes to chapter 44, because, a lot of times, these certain Moors that are in certain temples, and I don't knock the temple actually at all. I don't knock the temple nor the prophet. What I don't appreciate is maladministration, especially that administration of, that kind of that penitentiary ministry type mindset. It's very let me put you under the thumb type energy. And for myself, being able to travel and study abroad, so to speak, it kind of feels to me going backwards when, someone may think that I need to be in the temple. I am actually. And that's why I said, like, with me and my brothers, it's like 25-8 instead of 24/7, 25-8 adept chamber, period, all the time. That's not bragging. That's who we are and what we do and what we've been destined to do. Is what our mothers sent us here to do. And we're doing what Prophet Noble Drew Ali has charged us to do. In order to change the people, you must change their literature. So when it comes to me speaking to anyone in the temples, 9 times out of 10, what I'm here to do lovingly is to assist you in improving yourselves if you decide you want to. Because one video I saw, I won't particularly say who they are, because I don't think that they've ever been introduced to civics. What'd you say?
I said, I know what video you said. Talking about. I see
yeah,
it
because
I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, I sent it to you, bros. And that's why, I was like,
Oh, it was some extra ones I went through too, just to I'm always
it's showing that they have no clue about civics, and I'm not going to speak for every temple. I haven't experienced every temple. Let me say that. As far as like videos and stuff, but when I see certain things and I hear certain language, that's when I know they're in a certain mindset that is still slightly colored. It's colored though within the temple. So, it's sort of kind of a like, well, even if they're not at an adept chamber level, at least I guess they're in the temple. At least they got Prophet Noble Drew Ali sort of at the forefront of their mind. However, with this particular video I saw, more these Moors are still pushing, how to get your social security numbers. And immediately, I reached out to them and I asked, I said, are you familiar with 20 CFR 422.104? And it's who is eligible for or who can be eligible for a social security number. And when you look up 20 CFR 422.104, you will see that it says you, and you will have a hyperlink if you especially click on the response for law.cornell.edu. And when you click on you is one who owes a debt to the United States. And Moorish Americans do not owe a debt to the United States. Therefore, Moorish Americans should not be going to the Social Security office to get a Social Security number. Moorish Americans have their own sovereign theocratic government in which to operate, and it should be respected that way without one having to be discriminated against and forced to assimilate to have and apply for in order to have a Social Security number, which then brings them to the jurisdiction pertaining to one who is a debtor. When we are our ancient foremothers and forefathers return, and we have only been giving foreigners our credit for them to be able to utilize that to have something for themselves here at the North Gate, being subject under us. And I think that's what needs to really be comprehended here. And so, yes, when I see, certain Moors and they're like, yeah, we got our temple and our Grand Shiki, this guy. And then I watch a video and I read people. We're AstroCivicians. Just because you see us on YouTube and the subscriber numbers are not like astronomical doesn't mean that our thinking isn't. Our thinking is clearly astrological, astronomical, cosmological. Cosmogonical, if you want to say it like that, like cosmogony. So it's cosmogonical. And the way we think and the way we perceive things, we already know that we move at a certain rate in our mind that, honestly, it would. Sometimes I avoid Moors in the temple because I know that what they're going to do, they do this psychological dance to save face because they don't want to look like they don't know something or not showing something, when you would look like a really awesome Grand Sheik if you humble yourself to learn further how to make law and enforce law. However, that's why I'm not, a part of under some guy's thumb organized, administration. Let me say that. And that's what I mean by maladministration. So ultimately, Seven Hill Star Astrology Firm is what improves Moorish Americans' concepts, as well as those that aren't Moorish American. However, you are Moorish subjects. Period. That's what's here. It's never changed. Just because people wanted to reconstruct history and people practice other things, it does not mean, trust and believe. Well, actually, just trust and know. Okay, I'd rather you find out. Believe nothing I say. So go and research behind me and actually recognize and realize that no one's higher than us. I'm not bragging. This is what we do. We're in full honor pertaining to our ancient foremothers and forefathers, and we're pushing this to get most of the people to wake up, and while we are doing what we are doing under occupation, right? And utilizing certain energies to be able to obtain different things, while a mass pertaining to people are still under the hypnosis pertaining to federal agency, even though at times the universe does conspire in our favor for us to have things for us and our loved ones, you know what I mean, through many different other means, so to speak, and opportunities. So with that being said, it's kind of tough for me at times when I do see, you know what I mean, certain beings, and you can tell that they are doing their best to bring a uplifting message and things of that nature. However, if it's coming across my eyes, I have a responsibility. You know what my responsibility is even if you reject it, at least I've reached out to you. And when you reject it, I'm going to dust my feet off and move on to the next town. In other words, once it comes to the next experience, I just make sure there's no remnants of your energy in any way, shape, or form seeking to touch the hem, to touch the hem of my garment. Period. I or my brother's garment hems. So, I trust when we do this meetup tomorrow, these beings will, be open-minded, be really open-minded and really know that we don't care to run their organization or anything. It's just a matter of, are you sure you're really about the Prophet's mission? Because it's helped me to bring my people back into the constitutional code of government. Period. Not, oh, well, see, Mo, things done changed. Mo, don't Mo me, because Mo is shortening the truth. It's more. Mo shortens the truth. Which is lying, which is embellishing, which now carries a whole spirit with it, that you're going to always be shortening the truth in all your endeavors. Seven Hill Stars stands not to shorten anyone's any truth at all, anyone's truth, or whatever the case may be. In order to change the people, you must change their literature. So we're communicating this to the wise for their own improvement. Since these beings are saying they're Moorish American, they're wearing fezzes, they have black fezzes, which means that they're the Sharif, right? Okay. They're Mufti. Okay. Are you Mufti in your mind? Can you defeat your own lower self? And be like, you know what? Hey, I didn't know that. Let me learn and now further make sure I correct this, even amongst the many people that come to us. And can you deal with now? People are, hold on, brother. Y'all was just teaching on getting the Social Security number the other day. So, I mean, what changed now? Well, see, brother, we didn't see this part. There was a good brother and his brothers that actually pointed this out to us. And we never really analyzed these codes like that and didn't see it. And that's what's actually happening. However, who knows? They may be beings who are not even set up as honorable temples. They may be a 501c3. Huh?
I said rejecting the life raft.
I mean, we'll see tomorrow. I mean, later on today, actually. You know what I mean? Because we already know when it comes to the East Coast, it's already Monday. However, Central and Pacific, it's clearly Sunday still. All righty. So again, welcome to AstroCivics Sunday Monday. And then later on, later on, we will enjoy us going over for this Friday that's coming up. We're going to analyze later on today. I am Brother Sean when we come back for Intuition Monday. All righty, and analyze the new moon in Taurus taking place about, we said 28 degrees, 25 minutes, right, bro?
Correct.
All righty, and that's happening at about 11:52 Eastern, 10:52 Central, 8:52 Pacific on Friday, 19th May 2023. All right. So with that being said, I think I've actually did all my little editing here. Let me go and grab this here. Brother Sean, is there anything that you would like to add? Like, because I know when we go in on misery here, I don't think we have any vocabulary. All we have is interpretation. So, I want
don't worry. I already got some, like I've been like on it, bro. Like
Islam.
Just getting, you know how we do. You know how we be. It's like, how we be cycling. So I did kind of put a couple of things, it's really just taking the time to, okay, this is a chapter. All right, what's this word mean? Or going to read it once. And all right, well, let me go look up the etymology. And this word means this, this word means that. So now I'm going to read that and put it in with that and, just really analyze. Like, I think a really great book, if you don't have, is from R.P. Bey, is like How to Study, right? A really good book, it's like getting, just different dictionaries and different references. Because one thing, some people love to do is say you can't read everything that you see in the book. Okay, well, let me go get different angles and resources to cross-reference what I'm reading, so I'm not just based on one thing and taking that. It's like, okay, and I broke the words down, I broke the logic. Oh, hey, self. That's what I like to do, talk to myself and, just run concepts. Then you go take it to someone else. Hey, man, I was reading this. Tell me if I bring this information, what do you think? So you're getting multiple, angles on it. Because at the end of the day, it's study of self and finding our own truth. But we're able to, take that truth and share with others and learn from others. And really just, once again, first principle is love. Folks have a lot of hate. And they, hate, envy, and jealousy. And you have to just really watch out and just see that they're projected onto you. If you come in love and speaking in a love tone and a love energy, and they're spewing that hate, they have something within themselves that they need to work on. And they might not see it because they're just blinded to it. So just being love is the first thing, like, because as long as that love principle is not utilized, how can you get truth if you don't love?
It's interesting too, because the one brother that I did speak to from this particular group pertaining to Moorish Americans, I spoke and do speak in an intelligent tone, and it was a reciprocated exchange. That's why I'm looking forward to it. However, I already know that when I point out certain things and ask about his awareness, the real test will be, is he willing to bring it to or invite his Grand Sheik to the meeting? And what they're going to realize is that there's no hypnosis that the brothers pertaining to Seven Hill Star can be thrown under. We're not nor have we ever been Black. We've only been Moorish American. We've only been Moors. And we comprehend that fully. Sometimes people be like, well, you wasn't calling yourself that till the prophet came. Actually, you are asking me to break the law. What law am I asking you to break, Mo? See, I'm kind of already gauging the conversation ahead. This conversation hasn't happened. But people don't recognize that when they're saying to you that, well, you used to call yourself Black and they've never witnessed it, what they want you to do is be a witness against yourself, which is a violation of Bill of Rights 5. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Brother Sean, you want to bring up Bill of Rights 5?
Oh, no, I'm right there with you. There's no self-incriminating evidence.
You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like,
and that's what they like to do, because it's like you said, it's like psychological warfare or a trick, trying to get you to say something. It's like you can't do Bill Right 5, even if I was the answer, even that I used to did. Okay, so what? I realized that I was wrong, I was false in my certification of being Black, right? And then what I thought was true and real. But, the misery part, can you get over that grief and move on from calling yourself that? Or are you still going to hold on to it? That's the real question.
Oh, man. And that's the thing. Like me, I've never called myself Black. I might have called myself handsome when I look at myself in the mirror, just doing my own little self-esteem stuff. I might call myself, woo, check it out, man. You better watch out.
Man, this is me.
I call myself many things, but not dead or pale or a monkey. I never call myself a pale dead monkey, because Black denotes all those things within different sciences. Black, according to science, means death. Etymologically, in linguistics, Black denotes pale. And in biology, anthropology, Black is a chimpanzee monkey. So I'm not a pale dead monkey. Alrighty. So no one was pale and now they're more. From pale to more, from pale dead monkey to more. No. Mm-mm. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. And it would behoove people to, get used to the way we speak. We speak, what's the word? Properly. Proper jurisdiction with jurisprudence in our mind. AstroCivics. Right behind Prophet Noble Drew Ali, which is at the forefront pertaining to our minds. So that's what I have. You know what I mean? For us. And that's why when we go over misery just in a bit, you guys are going to see, most people are in misery state of mind most of the time. You know what I mean? And may not even recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think their life is going well unless they have some misery. And they're like, oh man, see, because you got to struggle, man. Life is a struggle. Like, you sound miserable. And you're looking to have a life partner in your misery, which means you want company. Any other wisdom you want to add on to that, Brother Sean?
I think that was good right there, bro.
Islam. So I got that going to lawful living. Now let's get this going.
I'll read the chat
Facebook.
though while you do that. Right. JLV says, greetings, everyone.
Hey, JLV. I think that's Jennifer Lynn, man. Peaceful greetings.
Hey, Jennifer.
Yeah, she's not a guru
Bey.
on Telegram group, on the Lawful Living Telegram group. She's not a guru.
Not a guru.
Yeah, that's what the Telegram handle says. Go ahead, I yield, bro.
Islam. 7 Judah Bey says Islam. Derek Bash Blaze says Islam. Mother Sahara says Islam. Peace and love. Mother Sahara also says indeed. Sim Judah again
Indeed.
says Islam, and C. Thomas says Islam.
All righty, Mother Sahar, 7, and Brother Corey, C. Thomas, 8.
I'm like, who the heck is that?
Yeah, that's
Brother
not
Corey?
Exalted Cyclops.
Is that
No, that's not the Exalted
Okay.
Cyclops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. Islam.
Got you.
King L. Bay says, greeting family. I want to say King is with an E.
All right. Peaceful greetings.
And that is caught up so far. Yeah, it's really just reading the material on like Clock of Destiny, right? CM Bay says to, leave everything besides mathematics. It's really, it's kind of like the sense of, doing suicide of oneself or one's ego, kind of like the ego death, to really move on to the next part, kind of just shaving the things off that one thought was, what they once knew and thought. There's a real being to let that go.
Yeah, this is why people, when they actually visit the jurisprudence gym, when they go to lawful living, and they hear and see the things that's being shared there and spoken about, their misery is what has them asking questions about, well, if I did that, to combat these people, what if they try to lock me up? Or what if they try to take my property? Or what if they try to take my children away from me? Like, when that happens, that to me, it's just a blaring neon lit sign that says, I believe in misery and rely on misery more than anything else in my life, because you guys are telling me what I should study to actually get myself back into the constitutional fold of government so that I can actually have remedy for myself. However, misery is so strong in my life. Misery is so strong in my life that I can't even do that. I rebuke misery being strong in my life. What about you, Brother Sean?
Yeah, I rebuke misery. When they say life's a struggle, it's been a struggle in my life, I rebuke all that, because just like with Black, and concept these other things, it's casting energy, it's casting spirit, it's casting reality. So you say, yeah, man, all my struggle, my life's been a whole struggle. I'm struggling every day. And, it really sets that reality, and you don't even truly know it, because it's kind of what we talked about, one of the aspects earlier is just so natural and so common that you speak it that you don't even realize it. And it's casting, it's kind of like you're just building an imaginary wall up for yourself with those energies. So you're like, yeah, my life is great. And it's, really, transmuting that energy and speaking positive instead of being negative, just becoming aware of it, right? Catching yourself and saying something or like a thought, and it's like, yo, man, let me chill off that sign. Why am I even thinking that? And just everyday practice, yeah, for real. Misery loves company, but things have to be miserable or terrible. It's just that inner work, speaking, and once again, it comes back to love. Yeah. But love is the most important, for real. It comes back to the love.
You already, man. So I guess I'll share this out to a couple of groups on Facebook. I already shared it initially on Facebook. Let me see. Okay, yeah, this group usually shows love. Shout out to the admins at Moor Erudite Studies. There's many other groups here on Facebook that are sharing. Voice of the Moors share also. So I thank them also for making sure they share out our posts. So I just figured, I usually just sprinkle about 3 or 4 of them while we're live now, and then once we complete the live, I'll go all the way back. You know what I mean? So you're looking at a clock right now for with the central. Got you, bro. Got you.
Yeah, while you do that, just looking real quick. Looks like definitely Luna is void of course.
It's interesting.
Coming off of that conjunction with Neptune.
It's interesting. Luna's void of course. So yeah, this is where people should be, and that's near the central time zone. It looks like you're looking at
Correct.
All right, so you guys out there that's Midwesting it out there. All righty, this is what it's looking like from your perspective there, right? And what you got? You got Chicago, Illinois. Okay, cool, bro. So with that being said, yeah, Luna's finishing up his transit in Pisces, guys. Looky, Astro Cookie, right? So, and soon it will be, actually, is it not about to be, oh, you know what? That's interesting how it's going to be midpointing almost that energy because Jupiter is about to ingress Taurus. So that's interesting how Luna is kind of midpointing that energy between Jupiter and Pluto just a little bit.
Indeed.
Right? So Jupiter is about to be sextile to Pluto. That's about to be interesting. And then Luna is going to sort of kind of be midpointing that energy. So even though it's void of course, as far as not making any Ptolemaic aspect, which is the major aspects, conjunction, sextile, square, trine, reflection, which is known as the opposition contemporarily, but we say reflection. So, 0 degrees, 0 to 10 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees, 120 degrees, and 180 degrees, we see no aspects there. So Luna's void of course. So only thing you should be paying right now is attention. And that's not expensive, actually. And it's interesting that moon's void of course during, this is the day that Mercury went station direct. Right? So with that being said, however, we already know once the 31st May 2023 comes is when Mercury will be outside of those range of degrees that some people call the Mercury retrograde shadow. Once it's past 15 degrees 37 minutes, which is the degree where it went station retrograde, on the 31st, it will reach 15 degrees 38 minutes and will be clear out, and all things pertaining to communication and other things will go forward. People that's been popping up in your life, just random friend requests on different social medias or random followings and things of that nature from people from the past will, be eradicated, dwindle away, some way, shape, or form. Right. However, I think this is the portion where we're going to get started. Right?
Let's get it started in here.
It's absolute Timon. So let me just make sure, share out to a couple of people, I guess, on Instagram. That's one, right? And share here, right? This makes two, right?
Yeah, man, it's pretty awesome. Got Mercury going direct, Jupiter ingressing the Taurus, and then at Friday is the new moon. So yeah, a lot of grounding, a lot of finding strength, within oneself. Value too, if you seek to, find it in multiple ways, even in ways that you think you wouldn't even be looking for it.
Islam. Let's see. Share screen. Is it counting down? Maybe I didn't do it. All righty. So here we go with, okay, there we go. So guys, we're here going to do our invocation, and thank you for you guys enjoying the monologue. And again, shout out to JLV, Mother Sahar, 7, and C. Thomas. Appreciate you. This Brother C. Thomas Bey, right? So with that being said, let me just go here too so I can just check the chat as we go along also, right? Go and check if right? And Kang and Tyro, peaceful greetings to you all. Alrighty, Islam. Alrighty, y'all. We're going to do our invocation in, guys. I'm going to lead the invocation in. Brother Sean is going to read the first letter to be read in every meeting, and I'll do the second letter to be read in every meeting. As you guys can see, we're here with the Moorish Holy Temple of Science Administrative Functions, pages 48 and 49. 48 is where you see at the bottom, well, from the middle to the bottom, handsomely standing Dugard in his Moorish Sharif's fez, right, is Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And you guys can see too, what's our authority, right, Moorish Americans? Well, it's right there with that religious corporation affidavit of organization there, right? And this is why, make sure, how we move, just being ourselves, right? My body's my temple, regardless. And then I know I'm at the temple pertaining to the sun and moon here at the North Gate. The whole planet is the temple, not just some building at a particular location, longitude and latitude, contemporarily substituted for federal postal purposes, according to some so-called address. All righty. We can utilize these principles and move our lives accordingly, and probably be a lot more on point than beings that think that, you have to be at a certain building at a certain time on certain days in order to be Moorish American. It's like, no. You know what I mean? So indeed, sincere appreciation for you as well. Indeed, JLB. All right. So let's do this, guys. We want to extend all 5 appendages on our left hand, just the index and middle on the right. We want to have our feet on a 45-degree angle, just like Prophet Noble Drew Ali is right here. All righty. And with that being said, going to face east, and facing east is symbolic metaphysically to going within. You can repeat after me aloud or in your heart. Islam.
Islam.
Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Ameen. All righty, y'all. We're going to go to the first letter to be read in every meeting, guys. We're also still reading from the Moorish Holy Temple of Science Administrative Functions. Now we're here at pages 84 and 85. And we are going to yield to our beloved brother in whom we are well pleased, Brother Sean Aline L. Islam.
Islam. The following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928 AD, or Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. All right, Administrative Functions, Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603 Indiana Avenue. Noble Drew Ali, founder, Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929. To be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear brother, Islam, I am glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement, now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance, and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration to represent the Moorish divine and national movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Noble Drew Ali, Islam.
Islam. Next is the second letter to be read in every meeting. However, we're reading from the Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper. And on page 12, we see again handsomely standing due guard in his Moorish Sharif's fez, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And here is the second letter to be read in every meeting, the divine warning by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We all love truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet. This is why I said the temple is perfect because the prophet is perfect. I have in any way, shape, or form, have any malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey. The law is laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their cardin button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting the prophet and the temple, protecting the prophet and the temple, protecting the prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So here, it's going to back on out of that particular PDF, and we're just going to stay here in our iBooks, and we're going to go right into chapter 44. All righty. Chapter 44 is right here at the bottom, guys. Once you see it's holy instructions from the prophet. Holy instructions from the prophet. What is a prophet? A prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in flesh. A thought pertaining to all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac manifested in flesh. That's in harmony with John. Is it John 1? Was it John 8? In the beginning, there was the Word. The Word was with God. The Word was God, and the Word became flesh. What is a prophet? A prophet is a thought. So you got to think before you speak. Thought of Allah. To me, in my studies thus far, you don't have to agree or believe what I say. Challenge it and study sincerely. Allah is all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac. So a prophet is a thought pertaining to all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac manifested in flesh. Who's not a prophet? That means don't go out here though calling yourself, prophet something Bey, prophet something L, or something like that's. Prophet is a thought. And didn't your mothers immaculately conceive you? Because isn't Jesus the I am identity and Mary is love? So love immaculately conceives the I am identity, provided you comprehend the metaphysics when just looking at the appellations, Mary and Jesus. Instead of being stuck in dogma. Chapter 44, holy instructions from the prophet. Misery. Brother Sean, I yield the floor to you, bro. You read, and I'm just going to get the Jeezy on an ad-lib. Yeah! Yeah! I'm serious, member. Okay, go ahead, bro.
Man, I tell you what.
Mother Sahar said that's John 1. Thank you, Mother Sahar. Appreciate you as always.
All right. So here we go. Misery. Degree or minute 1. Feeble and insufficient as though art. Old man and good. Frail and inconsistent as though art and pleasure. Yet there is a thing in which thou art strong and unshaken. Its name is misery.
So when it comes to good, oh mind, I'm going to say your lower self mind. When it comes to good, one seems to be feeble and insufficient. When it comes to pleasure, one seems to be frail and inconsistent. That's bars. Feeble and insufficient, frail and inconsistent. But anyway, I'm just saying that's bars.
As though art and pleasure.
I know, right? However, when it comes to misery, one seems to be strong and unshaken. Why? Let it go. Now let it snow. Let it go. All right, go ahead, bro. I yield. Number 2.
All right, Islam, that misery. And right, if you go, its name is misery, or its name is external unhappiness. Right?
So misery. That's the etymology for misery that you looked up. I just can tell the way you even brought that's the etymology.
Indeed.
External unhappiness. Looky, Astro cookie.
All right. 2. It is the character of thy being, the prerogative of thy nature. And thy breast alone it resideth. Without thee, there is nothing of it. And behold, what is its source but thine own passions?
His greetings, Brother JaguarSolar Bey. He says, yes, think before you speak. And look what Brother Sean just said. Misery is the character pertaining to one's being. And the prerogative to one's nature. Brown. Huh? Yeah.
I would have said no Bobby Brown.
Yeah. Basically, I can do what I want to do, right? So in misery is the character. So external unhappiness is the character pertaining to your being, non-statutory you. However, it must be a statutory you because you feel like you're one who owes a debt, obviously, to some foreigners. And now you're trying to keep up with the Joneses in Egypt, or mental bondage to sense consciousness, what Egypt is, which is bringing you external unhappiness. It is the prerogative to one's nature, and in one's breast alone, it resides. Which means it matters to no one else but one. And without you, there is nothing when it comes to external unhappiness. And behold, what is the source pertaining to one's external unhappiness? One's own passions.
Or suffering and enduring.
Say that again.
I said, or suffering and enduring.
Islam. Put a circle around your passions. Square up your conduct. I yield, bro. Number 3.
3. He who gave thee these gave thee also reason to subdue them. Exert it, and thou shalt trample them under thy feet.
He that gave you these gave you these external unhappiness, has also given you what? That's a heavy 6-letter word there. It's 6-word term, right? Because we know with adept studies, letters are words, and when these different words are put together, REASON, they make terms. For those, if you have that science, if you don't have that science under your belt, believe nothing we say. Start studying the alphabets, and you'll see the alphabets themselves are glyphs, which are communicating something. But what's that R word?
Reason.
Man, y'all want to see that pop up again. Gave you reason to subdue the external unhappiness. Exert that reason, and one shall trample external unhappiness under one's feet! Exclamation point. Hi, yo, bro. Number 4.
Thine entrance into the world, is it not shameful? Thy destruction, is it not glorious? Lo, men adorn the instruments of death with gold and gems and wear them above their garments.
So when it comes to your mother bringing you into the world, was it like, girl, you ain't married, girl, ain't put no ring on your finger, girl, and now you a single mother? That child is that's what happens when it should be not like that. You'll see. It's going to speak more about bringing beings, into the world. One's destruction. Why is one's destruction glorious? Why are people celebrating one's destruction? Lo, but look, behold, minds adorn instruments of death with gold and gems. That's a Jesus piece. You got, your cross, right? The cross is an execution instrument. And then people have it in gold or platinum with diamond cuts to hold diamonds, so it's gold and gems. And then you wear them above your garments. This is my Jesus piece. It's like you might as well just put an electrical chair around your neck and be like kissing the electrical chair. Like,
kiss the chair, bitches.
What'd you say?
I said, kiss the chair, bitches, instead of the ring. Kiss the chair. I
know, right? They might as well put a lethal injection table. That kind of looks like a cross. Have that on as your pendant. Because one has lethally injected misery into their breast alone. I yield, bro. Number
5. He who beggeth a man hideth his face, but he who killeth 1,000 is honored.
So he who begets a mind, in other words, you sitting here helping to or assisting to bring life to the planet. So it's showing you in number 4 how it's saying, look, isn't it saying it's shameful for you to come into the world? And then it's talking about your father. So your father helps to bring you in the world so that your mother can bring you forth, right? Father's like, here's the spark that my mother put in me to help you bring life to the planet, bring this man to the planet, right? But now what? Your father's got to hide his face. Why? Because people going to talk about him. But yet, if your father killed 1,000, he would be honored. This is the world we live in. And remember, this is some wisdom that Prophet Noble Drew Ali divinely prepared from other texts to bring this to us for us to comprehend. I yield, bro. Number 6.
Know thou, notwithstanding that in this is error. Custom cannot alter the nature of truth, neither can the opinion of man destroy justice.
Jesus, Bruce Lee Christ. Okay, go. Man, that's bro.
The glory and the shame are misplaced.
Now, notwithstanding that in this is error, which means people got it People got it fucked up. They got it flip-flopped. Custom cannot alter the nature of truth. So just because people are customarily practicing something, oh, well, you know, everybody got to have a driver's license and you got to pay your child support and pay your bills. However, the truth is, no, you don't. There's rules to it. And if one actually consented to those rules, they don't have to do those things, yet they should not be deprived of those things either, because it comes from their ancestral estate and should be provided by those that said, hey, I'm going to take this oath and do this because I filled out an application. I've taken this oath of office. I had this contract because I filled out this application. I have an oath of office, and, you know, I have a separately, certified statement, autographed certified statement. It says I'm going to use 50% of my property to do trade or business, which is performing functions of public office. Custom cannot alter the nature of truth. So just because everybody's jumping off the bridge, I don't mean, well, yo, everybody doing this, so you know you got to do it, man, if you ain't a man in life. Glory and shame.
According to who's thinking. Man, that joke
that's why I be saying. That's exactly why I be saying that, bro. According to who's thinking. Neither can the opinion of man destroy justice. What you think going on in these kangaroo courts, these administrative hearings that are taking place? That's why I said I love chapters 40 through 44, man, because it really lets you have some real perspective, provided you don't feel guilty when you read them. I feel zero guilt. I feel zero guilt when reading these things, because they're so enlightening and beautiful to see, like, man, that's clearly not me. Because I had Prophet Noble Drew Ali in the forefront pertaining to my mind, whether anybody knows it or don't. It's going to be there regardless. I yield, bro. Number 7.
Right. And it's that glory and the shame are misplaced. So it's like the things that folks, glorify, really look for, should be shamed. And the things that are shamed are, and it's kind of like, another parable here, right? Another story. It's like the beings, when you get the Job, it's like, man, the beings that don't never do nothing, why they always get the love? And it's like those hard workers or responsible ones don't get looked after. Same here, same text right here, just a different way to look. Continue to go, right? Number 7. There is but one way for a man to be produced. There are 1,000 by which he may be destroyed.
Again, talk about how you got here. 4, 5, and 7. Talking about how you got here. Why is it shame? How you got here should be glorified. But yet people are glorifying destruction. How you?
Right? It's like, you don't want to, be proud of the way that you got here, but like the TV show, you'll be, impressed by 1,000 ways to die, but not the one way you got here. You non-statutorily speaking, right? Mm-hmm. Moving on. Number 8. Mm-hmm. There is no praise or honor to him who giveth being to another, but triumphs and empire are the rewards of murder.
Speaking about bringing life to the planet again, there is no praise or honor to him who gives being.
Happy Mother's Day every day.
You see what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, exactly, bro. Exactly. What? Oh, you're just gonna honor, one being gifted being?
One day?
Stop it. Stop it. This is something that should be glorified every day. Glory and shame are misplaced. Triumphs and empires are the rewards of murder. Why is that custom altering truth? It can't. So can people see that there is a large amount of large amount of beings practicing customs and having opinions that have them misplacing glory and shame? Brother Dirk says, my mind, he said, my mind's telling me no.
But my honor is always with mother. Ooh, that's funny. We don't praise that patriarchy. You know, Brother Hasan is something. There's something I gotta confess, bro. Every day's Mother Day. Every day's Mother. Every day is Mother's Day.
Flat out, Joe. That's why I said, man, like, I already know we think a whole different way than most people. And just because people practice a certain custom and have certain opinions that seem to be like a large amount of people practicing those customs and having those opinions, I'm not moving. I'm not fucking moving. I don't care what you say, what you think, how many tambourines you bang and replace the lyrics of Jesus and God in your church hymns with Prophet Noble Drawley and the law. That don't mean nothing to me. Why? Because you're probably someone who has glory and shame misplaced.
You see, man, he said, see, you got it all twisted, baby boy.
Flat out. See, you got the members with the guns and the butt. Let me stop, y'all. Go ahead, bro.
Number 9. Yet he who hath many children hath many blessings, and he who hath taken away the life of another shall not enjoy his own.
So 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9, once again, is speaking about bringing life to the planet. Glory and shame are altered because people out here that have helped to bring many children to the planet, the glory and shame are misplaced because you got a lot of mothers, not all, however, a lot of mothers out here wanting to try to force sons. Oh, you got to do this. Child support wasn't there when you guys were helping to bring that. It was not nobody from child support was in the background. Like, yeah, man, that's right. Flip her over now. Hold her arm behind her back. Pull her head. Same. Yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah, 40 degrees. Do it at 40 degrees. Yeah, there you go.
They wasn't doing that. Hey, man, pin her knees to her ears and take her to Pound Town. They wasn't doing that. However, this is what happens when people are misplacing glory and shame and not being mature about the decisions that they've made before assisting in bringing life to the planet by gifting being to that mind. I'm trying to tell y'all, them chapters 43, 44. I know we're going backwards. I mean, we're going in reverse. We're doing a countdown, not backwards. We're doing a countdown. Now we have 44. Next Sunday, 43. Sunday after that, 42. Sunday after that, 41. Sunday after that, 40. And y'all gonna see, these are some beautiful chapters. Whole Quran's beautiful. But like I said, we're gonna take all the way till, like I said, we'll be complete our countdown March 2024. I already know it. Look where we at already. We're on the 5th Sunday out of 48 Sundays that we're gonna do because it's 48 chapters. How you, beloved brother? Islam.
Aren't we at 10? While the savage curseth the birth of his son and blesseth the death of his father, doth he not call himself a monster?
And again, man, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10 again are making reference to bringing life to the planet in some way, shape, or form. It's like, man, do I have to show you 6 different ways? that glory and shame are misplaced? Just in referencing bringing life to the planet? Really? The things that people have their minds wrapped around because, people have psychological warfare happening within inside of them because of the misplaced glory and shame that has them practicing certain customs and having certain opinions that are not truth, that are not just. I yield.
Let's see which one. Yeah, 1 second.
Number 11.
Gotcha. Appreciate that. And something there, right? The greatest of all human ills is sorrow. Too much of this, thou art born into, add not unto it, but by thy own perseverance.
So yeah, well, perverseness. So don't be all perverted. Stop trying to look, man. The greatest pertaining to all human ills is sorrow. Too much of this you are born into. So it's already, this is why Prophet Noble Drew Ali says, come all ye Asiatics of North America. Come and hear the truth about your nationality and birthright. You are not Negro, colored, or Ethiopian. And I'm going to, ad-lib Black, African American. You know what I'm saying? You're not those things. Learn to love instead of hate is what I'm saying, even paraphrasing. Go back to that mindset of your ancient foremothers and forefathers, so that ye days are long upon the earth land. Why do you have to learn to love instead of hate? Is it because of the great ill pertaining to sorrow? And there's much of it that you're born into, so you're a natural born hater? The first schoolroom is the womb. Why are you learning hate from your mothers? Do we see what's happening on the planet here? Due to the customs that cannot alter truth and the opinions that cannot destroy justice. However, by the customs being practiced and the opinions being had, the mothers are teaching hate. Because she was taught hate by her mother, and she was taught hate by her mother. And that's why Tupac says, you're going to have a race of babies that hate the ladies. So sons, this is, you see, this is why we don't play.
It's so beautiful because, it don't, it don't do the, I'm going to pick one side, I'm going to pick the other side, or the double standard. It's like, look, it's everybody, like, period. And, this and that, it's everybody. It's not, pointing the fingers.
Islam. I yield, bro. So yeah, don't add to that sorrow with your own perverseness. I yield, bro.
Psalm 12. Grief is natural to thee, and is always about thee. Pleasure is a stranger and visiteth thee by times. Use well thy reason, and sorrow will be cast behind thee. Be prudent, and the visits of joy shall remain long with thee.
Why is grief natural, and why is why is grief always hanging around you? It's natural and always hanging around you. It says always about thee, which means it's always around you. Why is pleasure a stranger and only visits you by season, by times? There's reason again. You think you gotta use your wallet well. No. Again, this is back to as a mind thinks, so shall the actions be. Because he is the feminine principle in action. She, her, hers is potential energy. He, him, his is kinetic energy. Remember, the first schoolroom is the womb. So we're here to carry out what our mothers want us to do. So we put our mother's thought into action. That's kinetic energy. So even when it's speaking about he in that term, it also relates to she. I'm not talking about some one United States Code 1 insane person type stuff, where the singular means the plural and the plural means the singular and the feminine also means the masculine means the feminine. Now I'm giving you the metaphysics. And the metaphysics is she, her, hers is potential energy. He, him, his is kinetic without associating it with gender. Can you do that? Can you think like that? I know you can. Use well your reason. Use the reason well, not your wallet, not your gift of get. No, there must be a thoughtfulness about you instead of grief. And sorrow will be cast behind you. Use that reason right. Be prudent. And joy's visit will remain. They ain't gonna be like, oh, yo, all right, yo, I'll holler at you, man. I know misery about to come and visit, so peace. Like, no, that's not how joy is. You use reason appropriately, then you'll continue to have your joy. I yield, bro. Number 13.
Every part of thy frame is capable of sorrow, but few and narrow are the paths that lead to delight. Pleasures can be admitted only simply, but pains rush in 1,000 at a time.
It's simple to have pleasures, which means you go around simplicity just to have pain.
As the blaze of straw fadeth, as soon as it is kindled, so passeth away the brightness of joy, and thou knowest not what become of it.
Hey man, where all my joy go? I just had it and now it's gone because you're too busy worrying. Worry is self-torment. And if you worry, see, man, that's why I don't tell people when I'm happy, man, because I tell them they're going to try to snatch my thunder. What makes you think you have to announce your joy?
Sorrow is frequent. Pleasure is rare. Pain cometh of itself. Delight must be purchased. Grief is unmixed, but joy wanteth not its alloy of bitterness.
Joy don't want to be mixed with bitterness. So why don't you use your reason well and be prudent? Use your reason well so sorrow is behind you. And be prudent so joy can kick it with you for a long time. I yield.
As the soundest health is less perceived than the lightest malady, so the highest joy touches us less deep than the smallest sorrow.
Y'all just had proof of that. People been trying to get you to prick yourself and suffocate yourself for the last couple of years. Because the soundest health is less perceived. Oh, this is not a boy. The Quran is timeless. Time never was when man was not. So the Quran is a timeless affidavit, unrebutted, just like your 101. Oral statements and prophecy number 1. I brought you everything that it takes to save a nation. Now take it and save yourself. When Prophet Noble Drew Ali was telling the Moors this, he was holding up a copy of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, doing religious corporate activity as Moorish Science Temple of America. That's me ad-libbing in an amplified way. And the 101 questions for Moorish Americans to show the books that we need to save ourselves with. So your Holy Koran and your 101 is what's in Prophet Noble Drew Ali's hands when he's saying, I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Now take it and save yourself. This is timeless. Simply timeless. Brother Derek says absolutely. What'd you say, bro?
Oh, go ahead, do you think? I was moving on.
Brother Derek Bey says absolutely. The Quran has blown and enlightened my mind. Islam. JLV says she, her, hers, subconscious, unseen mind. He, him, his expression of the unseen mind through body. Exactly. That is another beautiful way of illustrating that. Period. It's not this metaphysics is not hard. Are you sincere to be in harmony with it? Because metaphysics is the science pertaining to being, the science pertaining to ultimate reality. That's what metaphysics is. At least when you look it up in Henry Campbell Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. I yield, bro.
We are in love with anguish. We often fly from pleasure. When we purchase it, cost it if not more than it's worth.
This is what happens when you're in Egypt, when you're in mental bondage to sense consciousness, when you're in bondage to materialism. One loves anguish and flies from pleasure and only seeks to purchase pleasure. And the cost of it is more than what the pleasure is worth. So don't listen to these words in this presentation and feel guilty. You should be liberating yourself like, oh shit, well, let me stop this. Let me cold turkey this sorrow. let me cold turkey this sorrow and pain. Let me leave that shit alone. And rehabilitate immediately. I yield, beloved brother Islam.
Islam. Reflection is the business of man.
Wow.
Or mind.
Mirror, mirror, anyone? Go ahead. I'll read. I'm trying to tell you, get your mirror, mirror AstroLiteracy session. Go ahead. I yield.
Sense of his state is his first duty. But who remembereth himself a boy? Is it not in mercy then that sorrow is allotted unto us?
So have self-reflection and make it your first duty to have sense pertaining to your status, your standing. It's what your state is. Where's your mind state? Sorrows allotted is in a merciful fashion. JLB says the science of prayer.
Hey man, we got some sorrow pie, man. Some sorrow pie. Y'all want a slice?
I know, like, yeah. Nah.
Nah, I don't want no sorrow pie. I'm good. I'm cool. I said, get that brother over there in my piece. It's like he wants some extra sorrow pie.
Indeed.
Man foreseeth the evil that is to come. He remembereth when it is past. He considereth not that the thought of affliction woundeth deeper than the affliction itself. Think not of thy pain, but when it is upon thee, and thou shalt avoid what most hurt thee.
And this is what, excuse me, this is what I was talking about when we're in the jurisprudence gym at Lawful Living, and people be like asking, what will the criminals, that's the attorneys and the judges and the police and all these beings. Well, what if they do this and what if they say this? That's them doing that chapter 20 shit. I mean that verse 20 shit for chapter 44. For degree 44, minute 20. Therefore, seeing the evil that is to come, because they're foreseeing it. It's almost like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. What is a prophet? Prophet is a thought of all balanced law. All balanced law pertaining to the zodiac manifested in flesh. So if you thinking it, this going to happen, you're probably right. If you're not thinking about it or it's going to happen, guess what? You're probably right. And then it's like you're gonna remember it once it's past, like Schumann, which means back to sorrow. So is it merciful for you to get sorrow instead of death? Because it's like you should be enjoying life. So shouldn't you die then, since you're not enjoying what's so simple to have? So you're being shown mercy by at least still being able to breathe, even though you're in sorrow, remembering something that you foresaw that's past. Woo, listen to that again. Remembering something that you foresaw that's already past. Self-fulfilling prophecies based on negative thinking, stinking thinking. And don't even recognize that the thought of what if this happens is actually hurting you more. Because that thought it wounds deeper than the actual affliction itself. Mm-hmm. So don't think of the pain unless pain is actually happening. And you shall avoid what hurts you the most. Because what's going to hurt you the most is the foreseeing and considering the thought of affliction and remembering it. Leave it alone. If it happens, then be all like, woe is me. Until then, be like, I speak from victory, not for victory. That's how you got to be. Speak from victory, not for victory. Number 19, reflection is the business pertaining to your mind. Since pertaining to your state is your first duty, right? So why not have a mind state that speaks from victory instead of supplicating, praying for, applying for victory? Speak things that are not as though they were. That's a dual-edged sword. So why not just speak victory instead of speaking, oh, what if this happens and what if they do this? I yield, bro. 21.
21. He who weepeth before he needeth, weepeth more than he needeth. I tried to hold that in, yo.
But it is funny.
And why? But that he loveth weeping.
So you love crying. JLV makes a valid point. Faith in the unseen cuts both ways. So why not cut something great for yourself instead of cutting some more sorrow? Cut some joy for yourself instead of the sorrow. Cut it with reason and joy. Cut with reason wisely and enjoy the joy. I yield, bro. 22.
The stag weepeth not till the spear is lifted against him.
Yeah, the stag ain't like, oh shit, man, what if a spear come today? He's not worried about that. Go ahead, I yield.
Nor do the tears of the beaver fall till the hound is ready to seize him. Man anticipate death by the apprehension of it. And the fear is greater. The fear is greater misery than the event itself.
False evidence appearing real. Just wanted to say that acronym for fear aloud. That's why the best fear is fire, earth, air, river, which is water, instead of false evidence appearing real. I yield, bro. 23.
Be always prepared to give an account of thine action, and the best death is that which is least premeditated.
I'm trying to remember. What's that? Is that chapter 30 or chapter 26? Teach him religion so his death will be happy. Not dogma. Some people like, see, no, religion is what got us fucked up. And the white man's religion. Stop blaming me and the other white minds for religion being your demise. Your own demise, as you can see, is your misery, your sorrow. You're anticipating the negative outcomes that haven't been. However, since you're thinking that way, you're fulfilling that prophecy for yourself. You're speaking things that are not as though they were, and therefore you're receiving the reward to that. And then want to blame other people for you speaking crap into your life. Questions, comments, and or suggestions in the chat. I knew this one was going to be short. Questions, comments, and or suggestions. Questions, comments, and or suggestions. Questions, comments, and or suggestions. Questions, comments, and or suggestions going once. Questions, comments, and or suggestions going twice. Questions, comments, and or suggestions going thrice. If you enjoyed this presentation pertaining to chapter 44 from the Holy Koran or Holy Koran, divinely prepared by Prophet Noble Drew Ali, put a 1 in the chat. JLB said going twice. Mother Sahar says truth. If you enjoyed this, put a 1 in the chat. And I trust this is how we look, because I get it. There's been such a bad taste left in a lot of people's mouths within the last decade or score pertaining to Moorish Americans, because Moorish Americans just seem like some belligerent, loud speaking beings that, that are off-putting, loud speaking, belligerent polygamists. We are not that, and we are clearly Moorish American. Yes, we're only considered nationals in a foreigner's citizenship standing. We're not foreigners, but since foreigners have been given permission to operate here, they have what's called citizenship. Again, remember, the 59th Congress, second session for the expatriation, United States expatriation papers or whatever, tells you Islamic code has nothing which treats of citizenship. You're either a Moor or a subject under the Moorish Empire. That's it. There is no national, resident, alien. That's commerce talk. So yes, we're Moorish American nationals according to foreigners, how they're seeing us. Just like we're Haudenosaunee, but the French call us Iroquois or Iroquois, right? We're not considering ourselves to be Iroquois, but for some reason, the French want to identify the Haudenosaunee as Iroquois. We're Moors, period. However, there are foreigners that want to identify, well, since they're Moors and they are the ancient foremothers and forefathers pertaining to the heirs pertaining to this land, they're the returned ancient foremothers and forefathers. Who the ancient foremothers and forefathers were then, they are today, so they are heirs. They have the highest status on the land. It's just a lot of different beings with bits and pieces of this knowledge sound like assholes. I'm just gonna put it out there. They're not studying fully. And we're not saying we're better than you. However, what we are saying is we're here to assist in improving our mothers and brothers, provided they want to improve. Dark Glass Bay says, peace, everyone. Mother JLV says immensely. JLV puts a 1. Mother Sahar puts a 1. Dark Glass Bay puts a 1. T. Thomas says, I read this while, or I'm guessing you're saying a while ago. And you're saying this deep indeed, Brother C. And he puts a 1 also. Guys, we are going to do our invocation out. So we like for you that are still here, the 10 of you that are still here. And we thank you, all righty, for being here with us. Whenever we do these things, I know we could be doing anything else, this time of so-called night or early morning. Who knows? People are doing all types of things. I gotta admit, I be turned up to go over this Quran. I be looking forward to the Sundays. You know what I mean? Because this gives all of us, as we do every year and throughout every year, we're just going over our Qurans anyway. And we're always getting fresh revelation. So we trust that you all be able to, have it within yourselves so that you can be able to do what you need to do for your loved ones, right? Dear mothers, teach these lessons to the little ones so that they may learn to love instead of hate. Dear fathers, by these lessons, you can set your house in order and your little ones will learn to love instead of hate. Those are the instructions in the beginning of the Quran. All right? Assist, quote unquote, in uplifting. Indeed. Indeed. Assist means to stand next to. If thy brother is in if thy brother is in adversity, that means bent over, turned. That's what adversity is. Assist him, that means to stand next to him and stand him up. Stand next to him and stand him up. Like when one trellises a vine in their garden, if they were trellising grapes. If thy sister is in trouble, trouble etymologically is muddy thinking. Says forsake her not, which means don't persecute, don't prosecute her, don't chase after her. Leave her be. Look up the etymology of adversity, assist, trouble, and prosecute, right? Forsake, forsake. Forsake means to prosecute. If thy brother is in adversity, assist him. If thy brother is turned, bent over, stand next to him and stand him up. If thy sister is in trouble, forsake her not. If thy sister is in muddy thinking, chase not after her. Mother Sahar says, much gratitude to you, Brother Sean. To you and Brother Sean, indeed, Mother Sahar, for your sincerity. And Brother Seven puts a 1 in the chat also. All righty, we thank you all so much. So this is where we're going to stand. All righty, have our feet on the 45. However, we want to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index in the middle on the right. And we're going to face east as we stand like this. And again, east metaphysically is going within. So us facing directional east is symbolic to us metaphysically going within. And we can repeat either aloud or in our hearts after Brother Sean. Islam.
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 Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My God.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Ameen Islam.
Ameen. Thank you, guys. Thank you all so much. We appreciate you all. Get your rest and recharge. We'll see you all. I and Brother Sean will see you all in a few hours. We're going to quickly get our quick rest and recharge, and we'll be back with Intuition Monday as we go over the new moon in Taurus at 28 degrees, 25 minutes in Taurus. Brother Sean, you have any last words?
Nope. Love yourselves. Give yourself a hug. Reread the chapter. And man, make sure you go, make sure you if you can read you a chapter, whatever your spirit calls you to do, and just continue just to stay in the Koran and the 101. RV Bay, 7 Hill Star, and Lawful Living. I mean, that's your right. 5 points right there. So on that note, we'll be back for Moon Day 4. Actually, we're gonna Moon Day the intuition. And for the Taurus new moon, and Mercury is direct. So I guess we can be seeing a lot of communication and just values coming in. So if you've definitely been studying, you can expect, if you've just been loving yourself, value yourself, expect to just see some things come in. So with that, Islam to you, bro. And peace and love to you all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday, Moon Day, Monday, right? And y'all rest and recharge well.
Indeed. Namaste, namaste, namaste.